All right, so today we're going to talk about a story that just completely flips the typical hero's journey on its head. Yeah, forget all that stuff about courage and sacrifice. Instead, we're asking a question that is as simple as it is brilliant. What happens when the laziest person you can possibly imagine just stumbles into ultimate power? And this quote, it just perfectly nails the philosophy of our main guy, Lu Sheng. See, he's not just lazy, he has elevated it to a genuine art form. And that mindset, that core belief, is about to be tested in the most extreme way you can think of. So where does our story even begin? Well, like a lot of good ones, it starts with an ending. But, this isn't some heroic sacrifice on a battlefield. No. It's something way more relatable. So you've got our hero, right? A super dedicated gamer who, well, he dies playing video games. He finds himself in the afterlife, being judged for the ultimate sin of basically wasting his life. But in this totally bizarre twist, he gets a second chance, a do-over. And what does he wish for? What does he write on this cosmic contract? Not strength, not wisdom. He literally writes down that he wants to be lazy to the core and still get everything he could ever want effortlessly. An absurdly specific wish like that, it gets an absurdly specific answer. Lu Sheng is granted a tool, a cheat code for life that's so powerful it's going to define his entire new journey. He gets this thing called the automated system. The best way to think about it is like a super powerful second brain living inside his own mind. It can instantly process insane amounts of information and automate any mental task he can wrap his head around. We're talking learning complex techniques, even cultivating spiritual energy, all without him having to lift a single mental finger. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The system has some very clear, very hard limits. It can't make his body do things it's physically not capable of, and, this is the most important part, it can be completely overridden by his own willpower. So this isn't a simple I win button. It's a tool, and a really strange one at that. And get this, the system itself drops this absolute bombshell of a line that just sends the stakes through the roof. It tells him that it's not just a tool he can turn off. They are fundamentally linked, born from his karma. If Lu Sheng fails, if he ends up in hellfire, guess what? The system is going right there with him. For both of them, there is no escape. And this, right here, is where we get to the core of this story. This absolutely fascinating paradox. Lu Sheng's entire personality, his deep, profound laziness, is about to go head-to-head with his new power in a way that you would never, ever expect. It really makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it? Is being lazy actually a weakness? Because this entire story is here to challenge that idea. It suggests that for Lu Sheng, his laziness might just be the key to unlocking everything. And you see his philosophy in action almost immediately. Somebody challenges him to a duel, and his response is just pure, unadulterated apathy. He sees it as too much hassle and childish. He actively avoids any conflict or effort. This isn't about being a coward. For him, it's just about being efficient. Okay, so check this out, because this is the craziest twist. In a real crisis, strong emotions like fear or your survival instinct, they create a really strong willpower. And that strong will just overrides the system's automation, making it useless when you need it most. So what's the solution? The only way forward is to weaken your willpower. And how do you do that? By being even more lazy, even more apathetic. The system itself lays out this completely backwards but totally brilliant logic. The lazier he becomes, the weaker his conscious will is to interfere. And that gives the system total, uninterrupted control to do its thing. His greatest, most defining flaw literally becomes his ultimate strength. But of course, this personal journey of weaponized laziness isn't happening in a bubble. He's been reborn into this incredibly complex world, one that's just brimming with clan politics, ancient secrets, and hidden powers all over the place. And you start to see these little hints, these whispers of a much bigger game being played. A powerful physician takes him in for some unknown reason. His own matriarch is warning people about him. All the while, there are these rumors swirling around about an ancient curse in his bloodline. the imperial court, and even a hidden princess. Without even trying, Lu Sheng has managed to wander right into a political minefield. And this is where it all starts to pay off in the most hilarious, ironic way possible. We get to watch as he stumbles, completely by accident, into these major positions of power that he never wanted and was actively trying to run away from. His rise to the top is lightning fast and a total accident. He goes from being called the clan's trash to accidentally awakening this super powerful ability in his blood, which then leads to him effortlessly humiliating the clan's top young prodigy in a fight. And the result of all this? They make him the new clan manager, the one job he would never want. I mean, the dramatic irony here is just perfect. On one hand, you have how everyone else sees him, either as a lazy fat pig or lately as some kind of weird, oblivious genius. But the reality, the thing that's actually happening, it's the automated system doing all the heavy lifting in the background, powered by the very same apathy they all look down on him for. And it's not just the little guys. Even the most powerful people, like the clan patriarch, are completely misreading him. Lu Sheng voices a concern about a potential trap, mostly because he's worried about his own skin, and the patriarch sees it as profound wisdom and deep concern for the clan. It just solidifies this new, totally unearned reputation he has. And so you end up with this beautiful, ultimate irony. The one man in the world whose life goal was to avoid every single responsibility now holds the fate of his entire clan in his lazy hands. And that leaves us with the real, burning question at the heart of this whole story. What actually happens when the man who perfected the art of doing nothing is suddenly forced to be responsible for, well, everything? That clash, right there, between his ultimate laziness and this absolute responsibility is what makes his journey so incredibly fun to follow.